I thought in this video I'd share some things I've picked up in a estate sale. I think you'll find it quite interesting. One of the things was a brand new Rochester 4-jet carburetor, some Christmas lights there, and a couple quarts. I'll show you the oil first. I was going to use this in the Bel Air when I change the oil. You know, I usually can find enough of these to where I can warrant, you know, if I find 5 of them. They have zinc in them, but it's got a Perry Drug $1.29 and then a Perry Drug 89-cent sale sticker on this. I got 2 quarts. The guy had $3 a piece on them, and I got them both for $5. So we got a couple more quarts. My brother and a couple people told me I shouldn't open these and use them because they're probably worth more full, but you know, I don't know. I've used them in the past when I've picked them up in estate sales for oil changes on the Bel Air, and like I say, it has zinc in it. Plus I got another quart in the cabinet there. Yeah, I took some of the stuff I store in the truck out because I'm gonna need the truck in a day or two. I got a bookcase in there for Lacey, so I'm gonna drop it off at her house on Thursday, and that's why that stuff's out. But anyway, we got some lights that are like brand new corded, and we'll turn them on too. But this is what I got here. Let me just get it out of the box so you can see it. I can't hold the camera and debox at the same time. All right, here's the box open with this brand new carburetor. This box was in another box, and just the top bit was open, and I could see the Delco Rochester writing on it, and I thought, well, that's a decent sized box, and it was taped, so I cut the tape and opened the box at the estate sale and looked at it, and determined that it was a new old stock or new carburetor. It's got these directions here. I'll fold them out so you can kind of see them. Let's see here. Sorry. It says supplement to enclosed instruction sheet for using 1959 carburetor on past applications. So this is actually a 59 Chevy carburetor, and it tells you what to do if you're installing it on a 55 to 58, and it talks about an extra gasket under the air cleaner, which it came with, the fuel line connections. You can pause and read all this if you wish, the ignition timing and whatnot, and for the different years of installing this carburetor. And it has the instruction sheet here for using the 59 carburetor on your 59 with the parts. And I don't know if you're going to be able to read that if you pause it or not, but it shows, this is just a generic show, so it's showing a 4-barrel air, a 4-barrel air, a 2-barrel air, 2-barrel air, a 4-barrel air on the 348, a 4-barrel air on the 348. Those were 4 barrels on a 283. 348 did not come with a 2-barrel in the passenger cars. It might have been a truck application with a governor or something, but it came with a single 4-barrel or 3 2-barrels is the way the 348 came. But anyway, there's the instruction sheet for this carburetor. Take that off. There's the base gasket, mounting gasket. And here's the carburetor. Now all the rubber in this thing's petrified to be inspected, but I mean, look at this thing. No question this thing's new. Yeah. So, being the age it is, in a box with its original paperwork and packaging and that to prevent damage. So this, I think, let's see, I think one of these flaps, yeah, I think that one, probably that one, and that one, and then this one folds over. So there we go, we got the carburetor, Delco Rochester Ford Jet, and I've been having nightmares with the accelerator pump on this car. And I'll show you what I found. I ended up finally I bought a kit for this because all the rubber, like this rubber here, everything's petrified on this carburetor. So that kit's for that carburetor. And I took the accelerator pump out of that kit for this because I kept putting new cups on. This is the accelerator pump that was originally in this for the past 30 years. But I'll show you what happened. You know, you saw me in a past video, I replaced this cup. You know, it just pulls off there like so, and you can put a new one on. But what was happening was this was getting buried down into the bottom of the bore, and it was just peeling this thing back and tearing it off. Well, this plastic has swollen from 30 years of alcohol, and this was way out like that, and it wouldn't move. See how, take this new accelerator pump, see how it's spring loaded? That's so when your pump hits the bottom of the bore, you're not, you know, really ramming it in there. And this cup was tangled up in the, see there's the spring there, that goes down here, and this cup was tangled up in that last time. So I pulled the, like I say, I pulled the pump out of this kit, and it was exactly the same as this one, and except it had this blue rubber bit on it. But it, you know, it's ethanol resistant, this kit. This is ethanol proof. This is designed where it will withstand 100% pure ethanol. So I might order a second one of these because this one's going in this carburetor because I robbed the pump out of that kit. And this, I was able to push this back down in to where it moves. And when you put this thing together properly, this rod is longer than that one because this is so swollen that this comes back further than what it should. And so, like I say, this one was in the car for 30 years, but you can see, I don't know if you can see this or not. Let me set the camera back up and see how wobbly that is on there. It's just so swollen. The plastic itself is swollen, and it just doesn't, it's warped or swollen. I guess after 30 years being in alcohol and gas, you know, kind of be expected. That's why they make carb kits to replace this stuff over the years. But that's been a long time since I overhauled the carburetor in that car. I've changed this cup a couple times over the years, but this last, like I say, couple weeks, it would last a day or two, and then I'd be back to hard starting cold and a little bit of a lag when you'd take off, and that lag's gone now, and it starts at the touch of the key cold now. And that was the issue, is this plastic, not the cup. This is the cup that was tangled in the spring. You know, I'm not going to put it back with my new cups, so I'll just probably throw that away. But anyway, I'm going to put this kit in with this carburetor. And if you want me to do a video on overhauling this carburetor, I will. There we go. So the kit's in the box with the carburetor, so nothing happens to it. So I'll rebuild that carburetor and have a new old stock extra Rochester Ford Jet. This had originally a Carter on it, and I went with the Rochester here. I'll open up so if I can hear viewers. It's a 250 horse 348, and this originally had a Carter, and I have the original Carter, and I rebuilt it probably 30 plus years ago and never put it back on because I like the performance of the Rochester better. And so I've just left the Rochester on it, and I like it better enough to where, and that was a used one that I had that I'd rebuilt to make money on to sell, and when the Carter needed rebuilding, I had to order the kit, and that was 30 plus years ago, and I just threw this Rochester on it so I could drive the car until the kit came and I rebuilt it and could switch it back. But I really liked the performance with the Rochester, so I just left it on there. So now I got another one, so if shafts or something wear out or the housing cracks or the thread strip for the fuel filter, something, you know, drastic happens to the carburetor, I'll have a new one. There's the Rochester 4-jet there, in case for a new viewer or whatever. But anyway, I just wanted to make a video on that, and I also picked up some C9 lights, and I'll add that into this video too, because this is an estate sale video. All right, these are the lights. Let me get that unplugged there. Again, I need 2 hands, and then we'll plug them in and see how many bulbs will work. There we go. I got the cord all unknotted up. This is a, let's see what kind of light set. It says UL approved. For outdoor use. Let's see here. It's got a patent number on it. NOMA. It says NOMA right on the plug. All right, let's see what happens here when we... Oh, all but one. I think that's a blinker. We'll let them sit here plugged in for a moment and see. But yeah, one lamp out. I guess that's not bad. They're all the old inside coated bulbs. One with the, what do they call those, like a flame tip. It's got like a rippled glass. I guess you can see it in the video there. Like those kind of bulbs. But anyway, I'll let them go and let's see if that one warms up, and there it goes. I think it's just there. It's blinking now because I could see a bimetal arm in there. That's why I figured it was a blinker. So there we go. That's a nice set of lights too. All the wires in nice shape, no damage. I'll keep the wiring and all. And I use this stuff. Definitely use it. It's fun using this old vintage stuff. I like the old bulbs. I like using them outdoors. Anyway, there we go. We got a set of lights too from an estate sale. So there we go. And another note too is I'm getting close to 10,000 subscribers after who knows how many years of putting up almost 1,000 videos. And I'm going to do a giveaway, and I think this is what I'm going to give away. So closer to when it's 10,000, I get about, I don't know, maybe 100 subscribers a month. So it'll be probably around the holidays or so. But anyway, I'm going to give this away. It works perfect. Picked it up in an estate sale, and I don't know, they're good. I have 2 of them and I love them. I don't need 3 of them, so I thought, well, I'll give that one away. And I have not found popcorns for that yet either. I keep hunting around. Maybe eventually I'll find them. I know, did find they had like a little rack thing that you would stack the popcorns up in, and it said how much it was, and you know, it had like one of these on the little rack that sat next to the popper, so you could just lift one out, lift this up, throw the tray in there and push the button and pop it. But they wanted more for that. They wanted 10 times more for that rack than what I paid. Almost nothing for this, and they wanted like $50 for that rack, and no, I'm not paying. You know, if it was like $10, I would have bought it because it would have went well with the popper. But you know, you gotta kind of watch your budget. You don't overspend at estate sales. I see a lot of people, they, you know, go first day and they pay full price for everything. I wait until second or last day, you know, when they're usually second day they're 25% off, last day it's 50% off. I got that on all that stuff, and those quarts of oil on 50% off day. I didn't know this was even at the sale, and it was just close to coming home from radiation treatments, and I usually feel good for about 2-3 hours after radiation, and then after that I start getting sick to my stomach and tired, so I usually lay down and take a nap until about 6, and then I wake up and feel all refreshed and good and ready to go again. Although I do notice that I don't have the steam I used to have to go. But today's radiation was postponed because the machine needed some service, so they called me and told me I wasn't having radiation. Today's Monday, and so I don't know what day this video will go up, but tomorrow it's back to radiation, and Saturday I had a little bit of the same roughness, same time of day. Sunday I just felt a little tired but didn't feel nauseated. So far today I feel it's 2:30, so it's going on about when I would start feeling crummy, usually about 2:33ish, and I still feel fine. So once I'm done with the radiation treatments, I suspect that it won't take long to get back to myself. I feel like I have a little more energy today. I'm trying to get some things done around the house that I can do today while I feel up to it. But anyway, that is it for this video. If you like it, hit the thumbs up button. If you like my channel, that 348 engine icon will help you subscribe, and thank you for watching.